Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga, bolo Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, bolo Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. Patita Pavana, Gaura Hare. Gaura Hare. Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. Patita Pavana, Gaura Hare. Gaura Hare. Tai Gaura Haribo, Hariba, Hariba, Hariba. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanara Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Shri Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Vadadas Raghunath Sadagoswami Prabhu Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kundagiri Govardhana Ki Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Kshetra Ki गंगमयी यमुनमयी भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की, हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रमयी की, प्रहलाद नरसिम्हदेव की, श्री श्री गौरी निताय की, श्री श्री पंचतत्वा की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 38. Yetasmin samsaradhvani nana kleshopasarga bhadita apanna vipanno yatra yastam yuha vavetaras. Tatra visrijya jatam upadaya shochan muhyan bibhyad vivadan krandhan samhrishayan gayan naghyamanah sadhu varjito naiva vartate adhyapi yata arabdha esha naraloka sartho yam advanah param upadishanti. You want to repeat? Achyuta Gopinath. It's very simple. Okay, let us read the word to word meaning. Etasmin, on this, samsara, of miserable conditions. Adhvani, path. Nana, various. Klesha, by miseries. Upasarga, by the troubles of material existence. Badhitaha, disturbed. Apanna, sometimes having gained. Vipanna, sometimes having lost. Yatra, in which. Yaha, who. Tam, him. You havava, or. Itaraha, someone else. Tatra, thereupon. Visrijya, giving up. Jatam, newly born. Upadaya, accepting. Shochan, lamenting. Muhyan, being illusioned. Bibhyat, fearing. Vivadan, sometimes exclaiming loudly. Krandan, sometimes crying. Samhrishayan, sometimes being pleased. Gayan, singing. Nahyamanaha, being bound. Sadhu varjitaha, being away from saintly persons. Na, not. Eva, certainly. Avartate, achieves. Adya api, even until now. Yataha, from whom. Arabdhaha, commenced. Eshaha, this. Naraloka, of the material world. Sa artaha, the self-interested living entities. Yam, whom, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Advanah, of the path of material existence. Param, the other end. Upadishanti, saintly persons indicate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The path of this material world is full of material miseries, and various troubles disturb the conditioned souls. Sometimes he loses and sometimes he gains. In either case, the path is full of danger. Sometimes a conditioned soul is separated from his father by death or other circumstances. Leaving him aside, he gradually becomes attached to others, such as his children. In this way, the conditioned soul is sometimes illusioned and afraid. Sometimes he cries loudly out of fear. Sometimes he is happy maintaining his family. And sometimes he is overjoyed and sings melodiously. In this way, he becomes entangled and forgets his separation from the Supreme Personality of Godhead since time immemorial. Thus he traverses the dangerous path of material existence. And on his path, he is not at all happy. Those who are all self-realized simply take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in order to get out of this dangerous material existence. Without accepting the devotional path, one cannot get out of the clutches of material existence. The conclusion is that no one can be happy in material life. One must take to Krishna consciousness. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. For those who are new, we are reading a chapter called The Forest of Enjoyment. And we have been taken into a beautiful rendition by Jada Bharat. He is explaining to Maharaja Rahugana. In fact, in this place he is re-explaining, because Maharaj Rahugana did not understand the first allegory that he mentioned. He is re-explaining in greater detail and depth about the situation of the conditioned soul in this world. If you look at it from material point of view, it's a very negative thing. No positivity in this at all. Everything is negative here. Actually, people who are the positive people won't like to hear something negative like this. But truth, whether it is positive or negative, it should be mentioned. We should uphold the truth. It's not about your reaction to the truth, whether it is positive or negative. The truth is truth. Sun shines, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, sun will rise and sun will set. Sometimes you don't like it because it's very hot. Sometimes today I like to see the sunrise because it was very cold. So, in spite of your liking or disliking, sun will rise anyway. The truth will anyway be out, whether you like it or not. It's a perception. Your likes and dislikes are a perception, and there are various types. So, although we may try to be very positive, there are definitely very negative things about our life. Number one, you will die. First thing is, you will die. Next thing is, you will celebrate birth. I am born, birthday. Actually, that is also a negative thing. That is also a negative thing because you are born inside the prison house. That's what is mentioned here. You fool, you take birth where? Inside the forest. You have taken birth inside the forest. And you have entered there by your own will. It's not a point to celebrate. Ah, great, we came into the forest, took birth in this world. So the perspective of scripture, of Bhagavatam especially, is very diametrically opposite to what we think in this world. That is why most people cannot take up spiritual life. That is why there is something called religion in between the positive and the negative. Religion is in between. It's a stepping stone to the truth. So that the so-called very positive conditioned soul can also get some positive things, sense gratification, given with license, under rules and regulations. That is called religious life. And some people are very much against this religious life. Why this boundaries? Why this restrictions? I want to be free. If you become free, you'll become animal. That is what the Shastra says. If you act freely, you tend to become an animal because you are a fool. In the human form of life, you don't know how to act. Kim karameti, kim akarameti, kavayopyatra mohitaha. Even the most intelligent people don't know how to act. Krishna is telling. Yatte aham pravakshyami yajñatva mokshayate ashubhat. Now I will tell you how to do that. You will become free from illusion. First, we must accept that we are ignorant. First, we must accept that I don't know who am I, what am I, where am I. These things should be accepted first. If you deny that, it is difficult for you to understand the truth. So if you want to live in positivity, look at everything positively, that is another foolish thing to do. There are a lot of people, positive people. Be very positive. Don't think the glass is only half empty. Think it is half full. What a positive thing, boy. Don't think it is half empty. Think it is half full. And this way somehow manage life inside the forest. Don't think the mosquito bit you. Think that you gave donation of a drop of blood to another living entity. There are ways of looking at things and making it look better in this world. Everything negative has got a positive side. It is just that you are a very negative. In this way, people give you a positive idea. No, it is meant to be negative. In the Forest of Materialism chapter, it says, it's meant to be negative, idiot, don't make it positive. The mosquitoes biting you. There are various people that the living entity encounters. It's an exciting place actually. A lot of guys with a lot of agendas moving around. Animals, birds, insects, and rulers, kings, government officials, brokers. So many people hanging around in the forest. It's an actually amazing chapter. There's all sorts of people wearing masks and coming and putting all sorts of shows to you and try to attract you to take away your wealth. To take away your wealth. So it's a brilliant description. You see, when I first joined the movement, I heard a story of the situation of the soul in the material world. It is given somewhere in the Puranas about the same thing told in the form of a small story. That a simple, nice fellow did not know what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go and all that. He's looking for this place. He landed up somewhere, directed him something, and he jumped some wall and came inside a farm. Somebody's farm. And you think, hey, nice place. But where is the place I'm supposed to go? I don't see anything in the... But all he could hear was sound of two dogs coming. Suddenly he saw two dogs are leaping and coming towards him. So he started running. He started running blindly, and they were coming very fast, salivating, and their tongue hanging out like that, looking at him and waiting to catch him. Wow. So he ran like nothing, blind inside that farm. Hitting on trees, tripping down, getting up, running. He ran like nothing. And these dogs chased him so much that finally he had to climb some sort of a tree. And then from the tree he saw another, something there, and he fell down and hung on the tree. He saw bottom, there's a big well. It's a thicket like this. So bottom is a huge well. And there's not much water in the well at all. In fact, there is very less water. What is in the well? Oh, lot of snakes. Whole lot of snakes in the well. And then he sees one elephant has come and it is shaking the tree. And so he is also shaking. Anytime he will fall into the well. Then he sees two rats, one black rat and one white rat, eating off the branch on which he is sitting. Slowly it's breaking. And then he does not know what to do. He's just screaming, anytime I'll fall into the well. And there is a tiger licking and waiting there on the bank also. I think I'll not be able to get him. See, I cannot jump across the... So he's also looking at this thing and planning how to catch him. In this way, when he's screaming like this and in a completely dangerous position, suddenly something he sees, one drop, another drop. He looks on top. He sees honeycomb. And honey is dropping from there. Bzzz, bees and all that. So he immediately put his tongue out. Try to get one drop. In the misery, enjoy a little drop of honey. This story is told. This fellow going to die. This black and white rats means day and night. Time is going, you're going to die. Each one of them has got one significance in that story. So that type of a situation we are in, but if you can get a little sense gratification, stick out your tongue. One drop of honey, will it not fall on my tongue? I can eat a little bit, but you're in such a dangerous situation. But if I can get a little sense gratification, I can forget everything. My dangerous situation. So foolish is the living entity. He has made a venture into the forest. The story is told because he has Krishna Bhuliya Bhogavancha Kare. He forgot his real shelter, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, who gives shelter to everybody. Bhutta Brin Bhuttasto Mamatma Bhutta Bhavana. Mentioning in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the shelter for all living entities. He has left the shelter of the Supreme Lord, Ashraya, and he has entered this forest where all these wild animals are going to get him. And these animals are all allegorical. These things are mentioned very nicely in this forest story. So it's mentioned here, sometimes he loses. The path of his material world is full of material miseries. Dukkha alayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha. Krishna is explaining very nicely in Bhagavad Gita, this is a place of misery. It is a temporary place. Right? We must understand this. It is not just information. You are inside that, by the way. I am not speaking about some other place. Somewhere in the distant. It's a story told in the Arabic Nights or something. I'm not telling you a story. You are right here. It's talking about you. You are inside the forest. You are hanging on that branch. If you look at your life, you will see it is like that. It's not about somebody else, it's about you and me. So that's why we must wake up and understand it. It's not simply a story that you can pass off. Nice story, I heard. Jadabharat told. Shukadeva Goswami told to Parikshit Maharaj. The same story Jadabharat told Rahugana. No, it's a story about you. It's you who are the main protagonist. You're the main person about whom it is being spoken here. Your situation is like this. How to relate that is where the problem comes. I'm not able to relate it to my situation. I'm not able to relate it and map it onto my situation. That's why if you read very carefully, you'll be able to map it. Only by the mercy of a devotee can you actually Did I read the purport? We didn't read the purport. I read the translation only. That's what I was wondering. Anyway, purport. By thoroughly analyzing the materialistic way of life, any sane man can understand that there is not the least happiness in this world. However, due to continuing on the path of danger from time immemorial and not associating with saintly persons, the conditioned soul under illusion wants to enjoy this material world. Material energy sometimes gives him a chance at so-called happiness, but the conditioned soul is perpetually being punished by material nature. It is therefore said, Dandya Jane Raja Yena Nadite Chubhaya. Materialistic life means continuous unhappiness, but sometimes we accept happiness as it appears between the gaps. Sometimes a condemned person is submerged in water and hauled out. Actually, all of this is meant for punishment, but he feels a little comfort when he is taken out of the water. This is a situation with the conditioned soul. The honey drops once in a while. All the Shastras therefore advise that one associate with devotees and saintly people. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koi Lavamatra Sadhu Sanghe Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Even by a little association with devotees, the conditioned soul can get out of this miserable material condition. This Krishna consciousness movement is therefore trying to give everyone a chance to associate with saintly people. Therefore, all the members of the Krishna consciousness movement society must themselves be perfect sadhus in order to give a chance to fallen conditioned souls. This is the best humanitarian work. So, the most important thing, the most fortunate thing in this forest is to meet a devotee. To meet a devotee is a completely different class. He is not interested in giving you any trouble, taking anything from you. Various characters are mentioned here. The government people are like Rakshasas. They take away your money, it is mentioned. You become very attached to yellow stool. You know the word stool? Yellow stool. What is it? Gold. It's mentioned here. The conditioned soul become very attached to this thing called yellow stool. Gold. Then he will accumulate that. Then the Lord will make arrangement for it to be taken away. Then he will lament. Tam tam dhunoti bhagavan pumsam sochati yat krite. Sochati means he lavish. Oh, I lost it. My gosh. All my savings I put in the gold and he stole it. Lamentation. Attraction to yellow stool will actually create this. In this way, so many different experiences you go through in the forest. But you keep on telling positive things. It's okay, this will pass. But go and see the Jyotishan and he will tell you do this pariharam. It will become alright, it will become alright, it will become alright. Our foolish positivity is so wonderful. The foolish positivity, toxic positivity of this world is so amazing that in spite of getting beaten how much ever, roasted, toasted, fried, still you will say there is some honey, let us try it.
refuses to understand. But the only way he will understand is when he meets a saintly person. That is the most fortunate thing that ever happened in his whole existence in the material world. It's a turning point. At the time when he meets such a person who is very different from all the other mosquitoes, herons, cranes, crickets, all these different creatures are described. It's different from all of them. He tells him, you have forgotten Krishna. You have forgotten who you are. You are living in great illusion. You shake you up with knowledge into the truth. And you become attracted because he doesn't want anything from me. He just wants to give me information. You can see and you can feel that this person is genuine. And you become fortunate at that point of time. Kono bhagyavan jiva kuru Krishna prasade pai bhakti lata bij. Bhagyavan you become because you meet that person who will tell you who are you. You're roaming around here without knowing who you are. You're like an orphan. You have a father. Pita hamasya jagato mata data pitamaha. You have a father. He is waiting for you and he puts you into a different map. And he reminds him about your real self. And he reminds him of the fact that don't worry, whatever you accumulate in this world, whatever you did not do, or this is anyway you're going to die. It's not very important. It's not very important. Just do the basic things required for you to survive. Don't take anything serious here. You should take Krishna seriously. You should take your relationship with Krishna seriously. You should develop it. You are spirit soul. When he reminds you that, you start remembering. And you become genuinely positive. What? Not about this world, about yourself. I am permanent. I am forever. Krishna is forever. My relationship with Krishna is forever. But all these things are temporary. So there's a certain type of solid positivity that comes inside you by knowledge. This knowledge is what is important. That you will get only from a sadhu. Sadhu is such a person who has been similarly taught by somebody else and he has benefited from it and he has learnt. And he has become mature in that. Is very convinced about it. And he can go around anywhere in this world, anybody can pose any challenge to him, he will give a proper answer. He'll give a proper answer. Why? He's situated in the reality. He's situated in the truth. You can't shake him from that. Like I told you, sun is the truth. You can't shake him from that. Many people can try to shake him, can try to involve him, can try to subsume him inside the material world. He will not fall into that. Because he has tasted the truth. He cannot get affected by the forest of material enjoyment. Such a person you must follow. Such a person will direct you properly. It will be painful to follow such a person initially. Because he will cut your attachment. That is painful. We are attached to so many things in this world. But with knowledge, you feel happy about cutting your attachment. Chindanti kovidastasya kona kuryat kataratim. The Bhagavatam explains that Chindanti, Kovida means intelligent person. Chindanti kovidastasya. Who will not cut his attachment when he hears about Krishna? About the all-attractive Supreme Lord and about his actual position in relationship with Krishna. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. This way, your intelligence is awakened. This is a great event in your life. Not only in this life, in your entire existence in this world, this is the greatest time. When you meet such a person who gives you, it takes interest in you. That is what Jada Bharat is doing. Jada Bharat is that person Rahugana is meeting. And he happens to be an ordinary palanquin carrier. Carrying the pallaki for the king. But the king does not know how great he is. Because how will such a greatness be understood in this material world? If somebody is a sadhu, is a spiritualist, he knows Krishna, absolute truth, who is going to value him here? The scale for measurement here is completely different for greatness. Who is great here? Who is able to have maximum sense gratification, he is the greatest fellow. He is the trending person. Everybody says, what did he do next? What did he breathe? What shoes did he wear? What coat did he wear? What did he do? Where did he go? Everything they'll follow. Why? I want to be like him. The whole world moves like this under the modes of material nature. But the sadhu, he doesn't care if it is Elon Musk or Bill Gates or somebody else. He doesn't care. He is rather actually helping people on the ground level. Don't worry, you are great. You don't have to be Elon Musk. You worked very hard to become great. I'll tell you a secret. You're already great. Why? You are eternal. You don't die. You belong to Krishna. So instantly you can become great, you can become rich, you can become happy by this knowledge. By this knowledge. He will instantly make you happy and rich. You don't have to commit suicide and write a letter that my wife harassed me, filed 9 court cases against me. Please, man and woman, gender, all that. It's got nothing to do with that. Actually, the reasons given are something else. You died. You will anyway die. Why did you kill yourself? It's a good question to ask. You will anyway die. In fact, you are dying every day with the miseries that you are going through. You accelerated that whole thing and died earlier. Then you have written a wonderful note. Be careful. These people are like this, like this. I don't want to comment on that. He died and he has become a fan. Everybody is talking about him. A techie committed suicide here, and it is because of his wife. His wife harassed him with 9 cases and bribed him and asked him for 3 crores and so many lakhs and everything together. But he died. Now it will become a fashion. Everybody will start dying like this. Write a letter and die. This world is so stupid that they have already started making t-shirts on him, what he said. Die. Don't be worried. He has led the way. Foolish things people will do, and that will become a fashion, and people read and stupidly die. When the thing came out about, what is that game, and one young boy jumped from the windowsill and died following that game. What is that? The blue whale. Whatever. I forgot. So I was thinking, how stupid can people be? Just taking away lives. Valuable human life. You simply play a game and die without achieving the goal of life. Nobody told you about Krishna. Nobody told you about who you are, how valuable you are to yourself, especially in the human form of life. People think so bad about themselves. People have such low self-esteem. But if you read Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, you become really proud about yourself. Not in the way that people become proud in this world. But deeply internally you feel, I am no ordinary fellow. I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am eternal. I live forever. And Krishna is my father. Wow, what great security you get out of that. Your life completely changes. Only a sadhu can do that to you. Sadhu means devotee. Prabhupada explains. Sadhu means devotee. But a sadhu can do this to you. Pump you up with great feeling of positivity. Genuine, real positivity. Such a person is needed in our life who is truthful and really gives you, this is what Krishna's prescription is super duper. He gives you great self-esteem. You are not any ordinary person. Mama evam sajiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. You belong to me. You are part and parcel of me. You are not anath. You're not an orphan. You're eternal. Na jayate mriyate na hanyate hanyamane sharire. What amazing instructions. If you talk of positivity, this is positive. This is what is really positive. Krishna is very positive and a sadhu is very positive. He gives you a real understanding of yourself and really you are great. Why? If you look at the greatness in this world, all these great people whom we follow, they will die. Their greatness also will die. But Krishna is telling you, you're great and you're permanently great. Why? Like this. Your personality will change, your understanding will change, your self-esteem will change. You become different. That is the nature of a sadhu. That is the nature of a sadhu. He'll turn you completely positive inside out, not outside alone. Not outside alone. Foolish, small, temporary, external positivity for some time. This is permanent positivity. Prabhupada helped so many people who were committing suicide, drugging themselves, very dejected, completely misdirected in this world. And he gave them value for life. Nobody else has been able to do it. This is what is the meaning of encountering a sadhu. If you look at the sadhu materially, you will not get it. You will not get the benefit. You have to see association with the sadhu. So you will see Bhagavatam is full of stories of encounter with sadhus. Different types of people encounter sadhu. And the sadhu has different types of reactions to different types of people. He is also very expert in administering the absolute truth. He knows it's a sick world. Everybody is sick. In different ways they are sick. And accordingly he administers the truth, the medicine. That is why we should seek good association. Tyaja durjana samsargam bhajasadu samagamam kuru punyam ahoratram. Prabhupada always quoted Chanakya Pandit. Tyaja durjana samsargam. Give up the association of durjana. People who don't understand this truth and continue to go on in this world, who will finally die anyway without understanding anything. Tyaja durjana samsargam bhajasadu samagamam. Take the association of devotee. A sadhu may be difficult to palate, to taste. Difficult instructions he may give. You may think it is impossible. But he is the person who is actually helping you. He is the person who is actually helping you. So it is very difficult unless you have knowledge to make out who is useful and helpful to you, who is not. In this material world, whom you think are actually very helpful, I like you very much, they are the people who are going to do the maximum harm to you. Because it is an instrument of the material nature. You should very carefully, seeing through the eyes of the Shastra, you will see your best friend as the real enemy. This fellow is the real reason. So these things you cannot take from the sadhu. Jesus Christ, instruction, very beautiful. He was a sadhu. You can make out from that. Prabhupada praised Jesus Christ. When he was complained and told about family and my daughter and my son and all that, I don't know the exact instance, he looked at the person and said, I have been sent by God to set the daughter against the mother and the father against the son. He actually told us, if you follow me, you will fight with your father, you will fight with your mother. If you follow me. That's the type of instruction I'm going to give you. He told this. Then to another person he said, who is following him, I'm very worried about his family, my daughter, my this thing. And he was keeping on thinking about them. He stood there in the middle and told him, if a person commits himself to what I say and keeps looking back, he's not fit to be my follower. You can go. Go back to your house. You're not going to get the gain. You will not gain because you're not able to take your mind out of that. I'm telling you, God is available to you. I'm giving you a great this thing. You cannot forget that. You are not fit to be my follower. You can go. Right? So he made some amazing statements. Prabhupada quoted this. Prabhupada quoted these things. He said, what is that? In America, somewhere in a conversation with a Christian bishop or a cardinal or somebody, somewhere I forget it, misplaced. Prabhupada is saying to him, they were talking something about serving poor people. Prabhupada made an amazing statement. He said, the poor will always be there, poor. That's not the business of a sadhu. It's not according to who is poor that I'm serving the poor people. Jesus Christ said, the poor will always be there. He said, he did not bother much. But you guys are talking about poor, this, that, and all that. That's not what you're supposed to do. You are poor because you don't know God. That is the meaning of poor. These materially poor people are always according to their karma. Something we can do for them. But we must really do for those people who are spiritually poor. The whole world is filled with such people. That is the business of a sadhu. Go there and make them rich by giving them Krishna, giving them spiritual understanding. So otherwise, all of them look at, oh, you are from an ashram. You are a sadhu. So you must do good to people. No, you should give food to everybody. You should sit down and put the bandage of the leper. You should go to who all have bad karma. You should do all these things. We are giving you money, you go and do that. That's not the business of a sadhu. That is a government's business. Go look after them. It is our business. We may incidentally do that. That's not the main business. The main business you fool, including you. You are also poor. I want to tend to you. You are a leper. I want to put bandage on you. You don't see the leprosy physically, but you are spiritually a leper. Number one leper, Kushtarogi. I want to apply bandage to you only. Everybody is sick. That's what a sadhu should do. Cure not the material sickness, the spiritual sickness. That is why when you meet such a sadhu, lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. Lava means 1/11th of a second. Measure. If for 1/11th of a second, if you meet a sadhu and have a genuine association, sarva siddhi hoy, all perfection will be attained. Jadabharat's meeting with Rahugana is so wonderful. You see, Jadabharat has no reason to be merciful to Rahugana. Actually, it is mentioned he was angry first. Because he said, you fat rascal, can't you walk properly? Carrying the pallaki, from the top of the pallaki, if you talk like this to the person who's carrying, right? You'll think, what a rude person. He did that. And several times he did. Initially he tolerated. Who? Jadabharat. When it became too much, he turned to him and said, excuse me, I am not a fat guy and you are not a king. You must understand this first. Very amazing reply he gave to him. Neither am I a fat man, nor you a king. Both, your understanding, both of them are wrong, about both of us. Very coolly he told him, this is the meaning of sadhu. He can speak the truth to a king. Sadhu is, the word sadhu, Prabhupada said, is cutting. Sadhu means one who cuts. Cutting is painful. So when he told us, you can imagine the ego of a king. How dare you? Said, stop the palki. He got down. Then he said, what did you say? What did you say? Ready to take, give him punishment. What did you say? Like that. I told the truth. You are spirit soul. I am spirit soul. You are not a king. You are thinking you are a king. And I am also not thinking that I am a palanquin carrier. I am not a palanquin carrier. I am a liberated person. I am spirit soul. I know that. You don't know that. He became very interesting to the king. He immediately sat down and said, correct. What you say is correct, but I do not understand this. He explained to him. He explained this whole story the forest of material enjoyment. And took pains to tell him, the person who rudely treated him, to him he gave benefit. This is sadhu. I have nothing against anybody. In this world, everybody is like this only. It's not only you. My neighbor is like that. My people are like that. My relatives are like that. My children are like that. My wife is like that. It's mentioned here. My wife is a jackal. My children are all tigers. It's mentioned here. Nobody will like to read this. Nobody will like to read this. Why? Because they are stealing away the opportunity you have for becoming God conscious and Krishna conscious. They are plundering you. They are not allowing you to do that. The real purpose of life, developing a relationship with Krishna, they are not allowing you to do that. Therefore, they are jackals and thieves and plunderers. See, Chanakya Pandit, he said, I quoted this before. What is it? A person who is, I forget the shloka. Ranakarta Pitri Shatru, Bharya Rupavati Shatru, Putra Shatru Apandita. He spoke about enemies in your life. It's very interesting. If you have a beautiful wife, she is your biggest enemy. Bharya Rupavati Shatru. Ranakarta Pita Shatru. A father who has created a debt for you and he dies, no. He's an enemy from previous life. And if you have got a beautiful wife, she is definitely your enemy. She looks very nice next to you. She is going to give you lot of pain. Putra Shatru Apanditaha. When your son is a retarded idiot, when his biological age is 30 and his mental age is 4, Abba, he comes like that with his, saliva, this thing. He's Shatru for you from previous life. You don't see it. It is your karma. These people have come like this. But you have great affection for your son. My wife is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. My wife is my greatest wealth. But all of them are going to distract you from the real purpose of life. Therefore, they are enemies. It's very difficult to look at the world like this. Yenna sir, ippadiyeல்லாம் sonna. How can I live in this world? How can I live? Yeah, you must know this and still live and not get attached. A knowledgeable person will be very careful and he will not always enamored by the beautiful smile of his wife. He will say, Mama, you are very good at smiling at me, but I will do only what is necessary, not more than that. I am going to use my time for this and you should also join me in that. If you don't, I leave you. Watch out. He will threaten his wife, he will do everything to make his spiritual life correct. This is an intelligent man. Wife also will benefit. Children also will benefit. And he has control over himself. Therefore, he is able to give them also God consciousness. This is the meaning of religious life. Controlled. I know what is happening. I know I have weaknesses. But I am going to follow the sadhana like this and keep it under order. Let's live a disciplined life because Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya. Divi Vechakshura Tatam Tad Vipraso Vipinyavo Jagruvagum Sasamindate Vishnuryat Paramam Padam. Our goal is to achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. For that, this is not an ordinary thing. You have to endeavor, you have to plan, you have to control yourself and execute. Life becomes much more exciting than doing a project of this thing, building a transformer. We are building the biggest supercomputer. We are into quantum computing and we are building the world's largest thing. You will die and the computer also will die. But I am building Krishna consciousness for my family. And I am going to give it to others also. And that is the greatest project you can do. That's the greatest project because that's permanent. You will benefit everybody forever. You benefit everybody forever. So, this Chanakya Pandit, wisdom laden people. This is the meaning of sadhu. He's telling, watch out. Don't become too attached. They are jackals and plunderers. They'll plunder your chance and opportunity for Krishna consciousness. Now this does not mean that you should immediately go and tell your wife, Maharaj sonaru kalambara classla, nee oru shatru, na unna kalyanam pannadhe tappu, ha ha ha, nu solli pudhiya movie don't start. Don't direct a new movie now. Be thoughtful. They are also human beings. It's not that because you read the Bhagavad, she also can read the Bhagavatam and say the similar thing about you. You are also an idiot, I got married to you. You never taught me anything about spiritual life. Same thing can be told to you also. Don't think you are one of these people. Use the knowledge. Learn to live in a society with this knowledge and execute. That's the real difficult thing. Learn to live inside the society and not jump out and go to the Himalayas and say, I don't want anybody else there. Maya will catch you there in a different way, in the form of a deer. It happened to Bharat Maharaj. We come there also in the form of a nice looking cute deer and sit next to you. It is not that your beautiful wife alone is a Shatru. This deer is the biggest Shatru from Jadabharat. Came and spoiled his entire spiritual life. Came and spoiled his life. Maya, that's why Mama Maya Duratyaya. My Maya is very difficult to overcome. So follow the instructions of a pure devotee, of a sadhu, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and just execute it. You'll be safe. So we are trying to make a community of such people who are interested in the truth, who are willing to go through the tapasya of stopping yourself from doing the regular thing that everybody has done. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again and again they are born, again and again they die. Do something different in this lifetime, is what Prabhupada said. Take the challenge. You have done these things many, many, many times, crores of times. Same thing don't keep doing. Instead of telling me, why are you chanting the same mantra again and again? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. What about you taken life again and again? I am chanting only mantra again. You took life again and again and again and again so many times. And did the same thing. Punarapi janaram, punarapi maranam. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending. You did that. Again and again. That is even much greater stupidity. Yes, I am repeating the mantra. Because that is the instruction given to me by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Coming down in the parampara. So in this lifetime at least you can make it different. What is wrong? If one lifetime, even if it is wrong, when it is wrong, in the end, you'll at least get some pious credit. At least your next life will be better. In many ways, Prabhupada was questioned in public. Swamiji, what if everything that you're saying is not actually true? In the end, because it's so difficult for him to believe, what if it is not actually true? Then what? Prabhupada answered, so what? You have had music, dance and lot of nice prasadam, you can die peacefully. You got everything free, you lived a good life. So what? There is no loss. There's no great loss. Who is asking you for anything? They ask you to chant Hare Krishna, take good prasadam, dance, read some philosophy and practice a little bit. So finally if you say this is not correct, okay, that means you know what is correct. Which I am assuming that you know there's something else. Which is not there, I know. But the worst comes to worst if you feel that I did wrong. There's no loss. You didn't lose any money. You didn't lose any position. You didn't lose anything. You just chanted Hare Krishna. It can never be a loss. Prabhupada answered. But actually, you will only gain. There is no question of loss at all. Here it is mentioned the living entity sometimes will lose, sometimes will gain. But actually you will never lose. Neha vikramanaso asti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. There is only gain. It's just that you can't see the gain in the form of something falling into your bank account and a SMS coming. Just now, so much money dropped into your bank account. Why? Because you chanted Hare Krishna. You want to see that actually. How much more you will chant here if it is falling like that? You best imagine. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, clink, clink, my gosh. Everybody will chant. Yes or no? Everybody will chant. Actually, you fool, you're getting more than pink dropping into your bank. Similarly, in your spiritual bank account, it is dropping. Huge amounts are dropping in it. I wish we had such type of a program, an app. Each time you chant, blink, your bhakti credit increases. So how much rich you are becoming spiritually. This is exactly what we should do. And as you chant, if you enter the score, balance will come so much. So much spiritual credit you have. So much bhakti credit you have. And you can walk very confidently. Isn't it? We also know how numbers should be used. Just we don't bother. We don't bother as though numbers matter so much. Any moment the government can pass a law and take off all your money from how much ever numbers you got. Like is mentioned here. The government servants, the government people are all like Rakshasas who are after your money. They'll tax you and take money out of you. It's mentioned here. So all these are characters. If you look at it in a different way from the viewpoint of the Bhagavatam, nobody belongs to you. They are all strangers actually. Only Krishna and his devotees are your relatives. His devotees are your real relatives. All others don't belong to you because you will die, they will die, and the chapter will close. It's only temporary. It's only temporary. Start looking at your life like this, from the viewpoint of the forest of material enjoyment. Actually make a list of those people in your life who are mosquitoes, jackals, plunderers, owls, who are this type of rakshasas. If you make a nice list, put an Excel sheet and put different people who are in this category, who are doing this to you. You will make a very good examination of your life from the perspective of the Bhagavatam. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any question? You must be having no question. It's all about mosquitoes and owls and herons and cranes and just simple subject matters. Like a children's book. Crane, color it. Any question or any comment? Silence prevails. Any question or comment? You dare ask a question? Okay, go ahead.
Maharaj, today we heard, so quite often we hear about this, this condition of this material world. But it so happens again, when we go to the material world, again we come back, normal situation. Like, it's like getting beaten, again we come back to the normal situation. So how to constantly come to that, from where, when in that situation where we can remember at least.
You see, there is also a realism. It should also be realistic. It is the material world and you're being told this is what you have forgotten, this is what you are. Don't identify too much with this. But you're here. That's a reality. It's a reality that every day I have to get up in the morning, I have to pass urine, stool, take bath, eat, cook my food, look after my body, look after my dependents. All these are realities. You can't suddenly say this is this thing and expect immediately to change. Takes time. Takes a little time to gradually change, to gradually understand, to gradually digest, deliberate it. That is why we are sadhakas. Don't foolishly, brashly do something immediately. That's why you need to take advice what to do. So it will be like that only. It's not that you can, oh, I heard the Bhagavatam class, I can go and switch off now. I am no more like this. Ditch. Ha ha ha. It's not going to happen like that. You have to do the learning. You have to do the understanding, deliberating on it. Then you should see your situation. Then you should take wise decisions. You should exercise control over yourself. You should practice the sadhana internally. Right? Internally practice. Gradually it happens. And it definitely happens if you follow. instructions given. So you should be patient. Like I say, you're anyway a patient. You're being treated. You should be patient, you should be a little tolerant, and you should see the world from the eye of the Shastra. Shastra Chakshu means, see what's happening. This is because it's like this. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam like this. The more you read Bhagavatam, the more you can see the world like that. It's powerful, explanations. And the more you read, the more you discuss with devotees, then you gradually become situated in that reality. Then the change occurs. The change is occurring inside you. It is by you, for you, in you, of you. That's what's happening. Right? So it takes a little time. So at least you know theory now. You deliberate on it and gradually make it a practice. Then you will get it. There's a process how to do it. And people will make mistakes. Jadabharata is a person who made a mistake. Look at him talking now. From the mistake, how he has learned. So people will make mistakes. But the great thing is, if you cling on to instructions of Krishna, even if you have made a mistake, Krishna will save you. That he is guaranteeing. If you continue, even though you slip a little bit here and there, don't worry about it. Because you are on the great path to the truth. So I will personally be with you. I'll help you. These are his words. So we should stick on to chanting Hare Krishna, to rendering devotional service, reading Bhagavatam. However great other difficulties material nature puts on you, never give this up. That's why we are forming a community of such people who are determined to follow, helping each other to follow, and helping each other when each one goes this way, that way. So it happens. What to do? This place is like that. But you should be very positive and hopeful. If there's anything that you can be positive about in this world, it's Krishna's blessings. And Krishna is, Prabhupada said, is very kind, very merciful, and very soft towards his devotees. So let's hope for the best. Any other question or comment? He is the person who wants to ask the question.
Danatpana Maharaj, sometimes a highly spiritual person also falls. Was it pre-arranged or due to his karma or his own making?
Reading that story only. Highly spiritual person only fell down. Bharat Maharaj fell down in the forest because of a deer. It happens. But there are also highly spiritual people who go back to Godhead. And not very highly spiritual people also going back to Godhead. So as much as it is this it sort of looks like it should not be, it should be only black and white. If you are spiritual, you must be paka. But the real life is not like that. Inside the material world especially. So
Maharaj,
all sorts of possibilities are there.
that was it due to his karma, Maharaj, or it was
Nothing to do with karma.
okay?
Prabhupada says there, he neglected spiritual life. So he got punished by Krishna. Briefly. Like a rap on the wrist. Hey! He took birth as a deer. In that birth as a deer, he quickly understood, I made a very big mistake. Krishna has given me a rap on the wrist. Because the life of a deer is very less compared to a human being. So quickly he was born back again as Jadabharat. So in this lifetime, you will see him giving instructions to Rahugana. Very different from what he was before. That's all. In 2 lifetimes, he went back to Godhead.
Okay. Danatpana Maharaj.
So Krishna is showing him mercy. The great thing is, Krishna is showing him mercy and pushing him gradually by him physically, shall I say, actually being there with him. Making all the necessary facilities for him. Right? So,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Chandrat Pranams. very late in life, I've got an opportunity to taste Krishna consciousness from the association with devotees.
Very little in life.
Very late in
Oh,
my
very
life.
late in life. Okay.
So, many times when I read Prabhupada's books, he mentions pure devotional service. How is it different from devotional service?
If you drink the government milk that comes in Kerala, it's called Milma. Here it is called what? Avin. So, you want pure cow's milk. I'm just giving you a random example. There, all types of milk are put together. I heard even goat's milk is added. Anything that is white and coming from the udder of any animal can be put together and sold as milk. If you want, you drink it. If you don't want, you don't drink it. If you want pure cow's milk, keep a cow in your house and take out the milk yourself, which many people do, and drink pure cow's milk. So is there a difference between pure cow's milk and the government supplying in sachets milk? Yes, there is. We know that. And some people don't mind. What pure, impure air? I'm eating the cow. What does it matter for me? I am a person who eats the cow. What does it matter if it is coming from this or that? I'll drink it. Because that is your consciousness. But since you want pure cow's milk, you'll go and get it. Oh, I cannot drink this. You're a sattvic person. Similarly, when you become sensitized to what is really devotional service, then you want pure devotional service. I don't want any adulteration. Krishna also, you will understand, reciprocates to pure devotional service. The devotee has no compromise on it. I'm not going to do any diluted service, compromised in any way. Krishna is everything for me. He falls in love with Krishna, he wants to give him the best. That's pure. That's all. Actually, even if you're performing impure devotional service and you know it is impure, you will gradually progress by your own tendency to improve yourself to pure devotional service. Everybody starts with impure and then comes to pure. Instantly they don't get cow's milk. They evolve into cow's milk. Lots of people have evolved into cow's milk, A2 milk and all that now. Previously, if they're drinking any goddamn thing that was looking white, they were drinking it as pure milk. Nestle, this thing is all packaging very nicely. We are very pure. Look at us. Look at the picture, how pure it is. White. Look at this nice family drinking it. It's all business, money, and we know it's completely impure. But we went for it. This world is a place where pure is marketed. Impure is marketed as pure. So, if you meet a sadhu, he'll actually tell you what is pure. And he'll lead you on that. So, pure devotional service, fine. We should at least know about it and move towards it. Because in pure devotional service, the soul enjoys very high level of bliss. It's not that you don't get anything in return for devotional service. You get a very fantastic experience from Krishna, which you will never get in this world. You have never enjoyed anything like that in this world. It's all nothing compared to what he gives as enjoyment. That you can read in the Bhagavatam, how he rewards the gopis with the Rasalila, with his association, with his personal association, how he relates with them, how he speaks to them. The absolute truth is lending himself fully to his devotees. And what is their enjoyment? They are not asking for anything in return. Simply being engaged in the service is our greatest opportunity. This is what they say. So, the opportunity to be able to render pure devotional service itself is the greatest benefit. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Any question or comment? Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaur Premanande.